you all arrive back at Cobb's Landing, and Septimus kind of looks over at you as you all approach. Greetings! It has been a while. And Aiden, you are looking worse for wear.
Yeah.
And, what is that creature with you? Is it safe? He looks to Xavier, who... do you have a better idea of how Xavier looks now yet?
No, I'm working on it now.
We're still deciding whether it's safe or not.
Well, for the sake of the log, I'll say Xavier kind of has these feet of like a bird and a kind of lizard-like body with feathers. It's gold and the head of a crocodile. You can continue on, Darvius. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're fine. It's Xavier. He swore himself to a dragon and is now bound to her. I found it rather foolish, but he desires magic above his own body, it seems.
Strange, and I must ask, what is a dragon? I have never heard of such a creature.
It's like...
It's a down.
It is like this, but the size of 2 horses, and it walks on all 4s, is highly intelligent, and has wings and can fly.
Strange, very strange.
It also breathes fire.
Oh, yes. It does that.
Can you breathe fire? Xavier, was it?
Xavier takes a deep breath and belches.
We move away.
The Septimus and Publius both look over in shock, and you can even hear the sounds of people off in the distance, Cobb and the bakers, kind of looking over and gasping and gossiping amongst themselves. You've definitely got everyone's attention with your colorful gold and beautiful feathers. Fascinating. Well, perhaps this was your body as destined by the gods.
Perhaps.
Well, yes, we have quite an eventful journey to discuss and tell.
Yes, please, please, I did not mean to hold you up. I just needed to ensure that everything was safe.
That is something we have to discuss to figure out if it's safe or not.
Then please, talk away. I would love to hear this.
Well, after our initial meeting here, and meeting Davius and having him accept to come along with us, we head back to our path that we started heading back to the castle ruins that we wanted to head to. We stayed clear of the cave that was full of the sleepwalkers, and started to make a path all the way to the castle. We had quite an eventful journey. Nothing to really report on that until we got close to the castle, and during the night, me and Xavier noticed that we heard sounds of fighting and shouting, and the castle had lights in it. The next morning, we got closer and decided to lay low and inspect the lands where we found scores of undead, the sleepwalkers, laid across the battlefield, and among them, creatures that look like what Xavier looks now, picking up the dead and manning the walls of the castle.
Very strange indeed. And what happened next?
Well, we decided to keep an eye on them to figure out if they were hostile or not, like the sleepwalkers were. And they sent a scouting party. Strange, they have mounts like large crocodiles, but they jump in it and ride from inside.
The creature does not eat them?
No, strangely. We decided to call the creatures that Xavier now kobolds. With a C.
Interesting.
But we followed them, and they led us to where we camped the night before. There we approached, and I forget what language you all spoke to them. But I'm sure they Magnus was able to speak, and so was Darvius.
And what languages was this?
It was of Pershing Takane, the old.
Rashin Takashin.
Hmm. And was this the only language this creature spoke?
It spoke Old Lysinian as well, though did not prefer that.
I see. And this was the
Did not-
kobolds?
Yes.
The dragon does not speak these languages then.
Yeah, at this time we have not met the dragon yet.
But
Oh.
it does speak these languages, and probably more.
And the kobolds as well then?
The kobolds just spoke the Pershing Takane at the Old Lysinian.
He's getting to the strange part when the kobolds disappear, but
They disappeared.
Yes, they discussed trying to offer a treaty, and they said that they serve a creature known as a dragon called Aishwarya.
Aishwarya.
Yes. We showed them coins, and they were very interested in that. Not interested on bronze. It seems that they have steel weapons.
Steel weapons?
Yes.
Oh, fascinating indeed. Did you manage to acquire any of these?
we have two of their daggers, yes.
Joy to the Empire! Please, carry on.
Well, among discussing with them and who they serve, they said that we had to pay a toll. We gave them the coins, and then they vanished, leaving the coins and the daggers behind. Fearing that something happened to them just disappearing in front of us, we head back to the fort, where there was no more kobolds anywhere. But instead, we found the dragon, which we described.
And what happened to the kobolds then? Did they run away and flee at the sight of their master?
What we discover is when she is sleeping, these kobold servants of her appear to do her bidding. But she does not believe that they exist, it seems.
Strange fell magic it is, it sounds like.
Yes, and she is not a fan of us Tensian. She sees us as cowards for fleeing.
I do have to say that this attitude was, at least according to the history books, not unusual amongst those left behind.
She is quite fearsome, and like I said, she does not like us. But if you are caught in her lands by her, she will spare you if you pay a fee of 5 gold, a type to her.
5 aya, you say?
Yes.
That is a hefty fee indeed. Is that for your entire group?
Each.
Each person?
Is that or you pay in blood?
That is most troubling indeed. Please, there is no reason for screaming.
But we paid our due, and Xavier decided to play in blood, which is a result of what you see him now.
So the creature will either turn you into this kobold against your will, or force you to pay.
No, it wasn't against it. It was not against my will.
Or you can pay in fire, which means she burns you to a crisp.
Not much of a choice, that is.
Yes, we tried to be friendly, tried to set up an alliance, but she doesn't seem too interested at this time.
He's very, he's very cocky.
It will take time.
But the Nightwalkers seem to have an interest in her fortress for they tend to we saw a group of Nightwalkers going to her fortress, and then that's when we heard the battle, and then and from what the kobolds said, they come in waves.
Interesting. So perhaps we could use these two enemies and turn them against each other.
They're definitely fighting each other, and they do not like each other, but unlike the Nightwalkers, the dragon was please let us talk.
I see. And, do you think it might be possible to use Xavier's new station to potentially assassinate this creature, assuming it is not willing to listen to reason?
Oh,
No.
that is the
It-
part of the discussion I
If the
brought up.
creature dies, Xavier dies.
Oh, a true pledge of blood, then, is it?
Indeed, it was rather foolish of him, but that's beside the point.
Hmm.
She did share more valuable information about about the sleepwalkers. The one in the mist, she described him as a Devivor Somna. It is a summoner of the sleepwalkers, and they walk in lesser mist.
She did tell us of the evil that grows to the southwest, which seeks the destruction of our people as well.
Hmm.
Apparently, we have many enemies in Tensile, and they know
And
of
they
us.
are gathering against us, gathering their forces for a strike against us even now, she says. So perhaps we should double the guards.
Hmm. And where do they intend to strike? Here or somewhere else?
It sounds like it's south of Tenzile, so maybe one of the islands down there.
Hmm.
I mean,
Or Dundochus.
Did she
from what they... Damn it.
did she give any information on what sort of enemy is planning to strike us?
Well, one that has pestilence, biles, and what?
Hmm. I think I have heard rumors of such things.
I think so too, as I think I was among that expedition down to the far south.
Would not be surprised if these were minions of the one who watches through the moons.
I did mention, though, if they had a connection to the left hand, she did not know what that meant, so I'm not 100% sure it's the same group. But
Well, we are far from there. I am very surprised she had heard of them at all.
Oh,
well, she could
apparently-
fly.
True. Very true.
Apparently there is more of a kind in other places that she speaks to.
And where are they?
We do not know, but maybe other expeditions will find them.
Based from what she was saying, it seemed like there may be more further north.
North. And what's our name that she gave for these lands?
Dragonlands, or the
Dragon's Reach.
Dragon's Reach, yes.
Ah, Dragon's Reach. Very well.
Yes, and she has marked her land as well.
And where is this, so other adventurers can know how to avoid this toll that they must pay?
We marked it on the map, but there's a fire marker of her, and that goes north to Dragon's Bridge.
Where she turned Xavier into this creature.
There
Ah,
was
so
it was a ruined place with a broken bridge and a much larger body of a dragon there. A resting site, perhaps?
Indeed.
Yes.
So at least we know these dragons can be killed.
Ah, that is true. Anything can be killed with enough effort, save for the gods.
We also know
She did
how
not
big they
think
can
very highly of the gods. She spoke ill of them.
And you pledged yourself to this creature, Xavier. Full knowing this.
Some do not remember their oaths to the Empire and the god, and desire to reconnect with the gods.
My oath to the guild has nothing to do with the gods, and I have not broken any of the parts of my pledge to the guild.
You swore to the Empress, and now you've sworn to possibly one of her enemies. I disagree.
There
Yes.
has been no contact between her and us. We do not know if she's an enemy. Matter of fact, the fact that you can continue to view her as a hostile force works against us trying to bring her along as an ally against forces that seek to disrupt both.
She views us as nothing more than gnats. She said so herself. We are
enough-
not worthy to be her
enough-
allies. I
Enough
claim.
enough of this bickering. You
Like
had
I
something
said-
to say, Daimos?
To speak upon Dragon. I myself offered my talents to her with art, and I painted her something that she seemed to take quite pleasure in. I cannot speak for certain, but I feel that she has taken a firmer liking to me specifically. If that helps with the current debacle with her relations with us, I do not know.
I see.
If it helps a little, just to lighten up the subject, there is this set of mountain ranges beyond Dragon's Ridge, marked on the map. We hadn't explored it, but she mentioned there's an underground somewhere.
Fascinating. A secret passage, perhaps?
Yeah, but the way she described it is where spiders dwell.
I have heard rumors of such things to the far east. Far traveled, it sounds, this beast is. And, Xavier, you do not need to worry. Once you find your body, you can be free of this bloody pact that you have made.
He seemed to say that he could not go to his old body now.
Even given that up, have you? Well, God's blessings upon you. I shall wish you luck. Is there anything else that you will need to note?
Like I said, much discussed with that issue matters. But yes, we saw the castle get repaired. Xavier decided to pledge himself to her, and Damiels drew her a painting of herself that she seemed very joyful for.
It was a good painting.
We're not sure if she's an ally yet, but perhaps we could convince her that Tensians are not a threat to her, and they have much to offer. Like I said, they have steel weapons and knowledge of what's happened here and magic. So perhaps Xavier can bridge this issue with Tensian and Dragonkind.
Well, it appears we have many enemies, so I would certainly prefer to have this flying, fire-breathing creature on our side than against us.
Agreed, but that's something that we had to discuss another time. But we decided to start heading back. On our way back, we discovered a strange woman, a girl, sitting in a chair, throwing breadcrumbs out of nothing and birds gathering. She quickly vanished, and we decided to investigate a little bit more. And I foolishly picked up one of the crumbs and experienced immense pain and apparently fadedness as well. Which is why I was looking away.
He was surrounded by ravens and songbirds, but also birds of the night. But she appeared at us during the day.
Very strange occurrence, that sounds.
Yes, be careful what you touch out there.
Indeed, indeed. Very well, is there anything else? If there is not, I trust that the markings you have made on your map were in full good faith in front of the eyes of the 10.
That I mapped, yes.
Very well, we shall press it into the waystones and consider this expedition closed. I thank you all for your efforts.